So if there was this bridge you was walking on, and the only way that you could keep from falling is you kept your eye on this sphere, or let's just say an object, and you can keep looking at that, and no matter where you're walking, even if you seem like you were kind of going back and forth, maybe not walking in a straight line, and I got my eyes looking up like I'm looking at this thing. Um, so you couldn't see what's in front of you, but if you kept your eyes on this thing, you would get to your destination without falling. A lot of things would be going on to the left and to the right, and if you took your eyes off of the object, you might stray, you might get nervous, you might see something that will startle you, you might get distracted, you might see another way that looks tempting. A lot of people have said that Jesus turns them off for Christians and his followers, and it's probably really not the person of Christ. It's more of the humans that say we follow Christ and we can do some things that are very offensive and upsetting to folk. And hopefully we go back and ask people to forgive us when we see that we've done something wrong. But it still doesn't change the fact that if anyone keeps their eye on what Christ did and mimics his life, things work out. Not to say it'll be easy, but things work out. Look in the book of John, chapter 10. It tells everybody that he's the shepherd, and he has the gate, and those who come through his gate will be saved, and they will come in and go out and find pasture, a place, a land to graze, to do the very things that a sheep was made to do, or do a very thing that you were made to do. So it's not so much just about getting to Christ, it's about getting in, being filled, being pretty much consumed with some more knowledge and wisdom and understanding his love, and to come out as a changed person, and to go out now and to graze in the pasture with other sheep, to live the life that he called us to live. He says that everybody who came before him was like a thief and a robber, but he comes to give life and to give it more abundant. It's one thing to exist on earth and think that you're living, but it's another thing to really be living, full and filled, full of purpose, full of destiny, full of determination and drive to get to the very thing that God has made you and called you to be. A lot of people give you a great motivational speech and say you can do everything, and the reason why they're saying that, and the truth behind it, is this. At one point they wanted to stone Jesus Christ, book of John, chapter 10, because he was saying that he and the Father are one, and they said, oh, you claim to be God, but you're this man. And he tells them, John chapter 10, verse 34, he says, hey, is it not written that God has called us little gods? He said, if you're going to study this word and this Torah and these laws, and you can't take that out of context, he says we're little versions of himself. So if I'm a little g, then there's no obstacles that can trip me up except for me. When I get too high on myself, or when I think too low. You got to have a good balance to understand who you are. And then you can accomplish anything, because he gave us permission. It's not that we're doing it by ourselves, but we've been given the green light by God Almighty to make this earth to how we want it to be. So if you don't like how you see things, and the earth is not reflecting, or your community or your family is not reflecting what you, or your life is not reflecting what you desire, then maybe there are some things that we or you need to change. Make the change. Get active. Once you do that, stay active. Now make it a lifestyle. Live active. Spiritually, mentally, physically. Study the word. Keep your eye on the object, which is Jesus Christ. Don't worry about the stuff beside you. He'll lead you the right way to your destiny, to your purpose, to the very gift God has given you to serve the world. Activate you.